Obviously, the thing should use to stuff on the top of the car window and the gap made by that was better.
We'll give everybody just a couple more minutes. We're waiting on a few more people to get logged in here, and then we'll get started.
And Shannon, it's interesting to note that today, as I was going through and making sure everything was ready to go for class tonight, I noticed that several people have already logged in to the Moodle. And interestingly, it is literally all the people but one who are on the screen right now. So well done, everybody.
Not surprising. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's great. We'll wait one more minute, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started and see if we can't move through this pretty quickly. And then if others join us, great. Otherwise, they'll have the opportunity to view this because Corey is recording it. So basically tonight, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the course, kind of the expectations. I know that I'm recognizing all of your names from other courses, so I know that you all have taken a course, the first one. This is the second one. This is the ABA course. And I want to just go back through it and make sure you're all familiar with how to use the Moodle and also Padlet, all of those kinds of things as we move through and kind of the expectations and a timeline for the course. I think Corey's going to share the screen and we'll go through a PowerPoint together and kind of look at the objectives. And I guess I want to get a feel from you all too, how many of you are familiar with ABA, and also how many of you have participated in developing an FBA and a positive behavior support plan. If you've done that and are familiar with that, I will tell you that you're going to need some access to students and possibly IEPs for this course. So if some of you are still teaching virtually and don't have direct access, that's definitely something we can work with, but that's just things that I need to know. And we don't have to know that now. You can certainly reach out to me if that's challenging for you. I know it's kind of weird time, so sometimes that's hard. So, okay, so Corey's gonna share the PowerPoint, yes? Okay, perfect. If you guys have any questions along the way, just, raise a hand, let us know, all of those good things. So this is the ABA class. You will, by the time this course is over, you will have collected data on a particular student. You will have gone through and identified the function of the behavior, and then developed a hypothesis about that function of the behavior, and then also developed an FBA and a positive behavior intervention plan. So that's the end goal. So if you're starting this course thinking about a particular student, that can be helpful to you, and a particular behavior with that student that you want to target. That will help you as you move through the course, so you don't get to the end of the course and go, oh gosh, I should have been collecting data all of this time. If you don't have direct access, but you did last school year and you have some data, we can talk about how to make that work. So just on an individual basis, just make sure that you're communicating with me about what you might need to make sure that all of this can come together for you. Okay, perfect. Just to reintroduce myself, I am Shannon Gibson. I have been an educator for over 30 years. I currently own and operate a child care center here. I actually live in Apopka. So we have a child care center here. We've been open about 18 years. I also work as an educational consultant, mostly internationally in Guam and in a very small country called Palau with the Ministry of Education there. I recently got my infant toddler developmental specialist certification. Those of you who might not be familiar with the ITDS, it's a great add-on certification for you and gives you an opportunity to work with children who are birth to age 3. So if you're looking for something else to, you know, dip your toe in, an ITDS certification is one of those things that is extremely beneficial. And what winds up happening is you connect with an agency and work through early steps, and then you can work with those children 1 hour to 2 hours a week. For those of you that are teaching pre-K, it's a great proactive way to get some early intervention for those T-tinies. To be perfectly honest, it's a lot of parent support too, and helping parents develop a skill set to work with their children who may have some developmental delays. So just putting that out there, you can contact your area early steps program, which is that birth to 3 piece. I just am wrapping up. This is super exciting for me, so I'll share. I am part of a corporation called Kid City USA, which is a childcare chain, if you will, a franchise. That's the childcare center that I opened. And as luck would have it, the CEO of Kid City asked me to develop an entire preschool curriculum. So that's what I have been doing during this pandemic, is writing this curriculum, developing this curriculum for infants through VPK, 5-year-olds, and it is going off to Tallahassee to the Office of Early Learning for approval next week. So they will be looking at that and adding us to the list of approved curricula for licensed childcare facilities. So that's super exciting for me. And I get to present at Macy. Yay! That's super exciting too. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to go to Anaheim, which is where it's being offered this year because of, you know, things. So we're going to be doing it all virtually, but that's very exciting. Let's go. Can you go back just one slide for me 1 second, Corey? Can you jump in here and just kind of tell them a little bit about your role with this, please?
Okay, hi. I am the coordinator, and I'm the one who you would ask if you have any login problems, or if you need different sort of accessibility to either our presentations, to the material. I can help you with that as well. And yeah, that's me.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Will you click for me, Corey? Thank you. Okay, so as you all know, there are the 3 courses. Each of them are 80 hours. These 3 courses will, when you're finished, we'll give you your certificates, and those certificates will be turned into Tallahassee to add ASD as an endorsement to your certification. This class is the ABA class, and then the next one will be the communication, the augmentative alternative communication assistive technology course, which will follow this. We'll offer that one in the spring as well. So this course is going to provide you with an understanding of how applied behavior analysis principles pertain to individuals with ASD, including implementation associated with teaching various skills, supporting behaviors in educational setting. The functional assessments of problem behaviors, as well as proactive and preventive measures and methods for addressing problem behaviors, will be addressed. So not only are we going to be looking at coming up with targeting whatever that misbehavior is, we're going to be also looking at how we can take a proactive and preventive approach, i.e. developing a positive intervention plan. We're going to use evidence-based instructional strategies to develop communication, social, self-help, and academic skills that are directly linked to those behavioral needs of students on the autism spectrum. So I wanted to go through each of these objectives because I think they're important for us to understand kind of where we are and how we're starting, so that we can keep in mind from the start of the course through the end kind of what you're doing. I think one of the struggles that we had, because we offered this course over the summer, one of the struggles that we had is that we had a few students who got midpoint to the end of the course and we're like, I didn't collect any data. Well, if we know going in what we need to be doing, I think it will help on the other end of that. So we're going to identify social and behavioral issues associated with ASD and how they impact quality of life for our students. We're going to demonstrate an understanding of the effect of theory of mind, and that is actually the first assignment, and some of you have already done that. So looking at theory of mind and executive functioning as it relates to individuals on the spectrum. We're going to define ABA. We're going to look for possible reasons that we might see those self-stem behaviors or those repetitive behaviors that we frequently see in some of our students on the spectrum. Basic behavioral principles. Sorry, I got a question. Can this screen be sent to us so that way we have, hold on one second, sorry, have it to help us collecting data. Which screen, Brenda, are you wanting? Corey's recording this, so you can go back and watch it if you need to. Oh, this one that we're on? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be in the recorded session. This is just my PowerPoint, and I am happy to share it with you if you'd like me to do that. And then basic behavioral principles. We're going to look at operant reinforcement, differential reinforcement, extinction, punishment, discrimination training, generalization, etc. All of these terms that we typically see with ABA. And if you are not a behavior specialist or you're not familiar with applied behavior analysis, and you're working with children on the spectrum, and that behavior specialist has come into your room and said, hey, I just need you to collect this data, this course is going to help you make sense of why you're doing what you're doing. And you're going to have a much better understanding of your role in the whole coming together of how we're going to better meet the needs of our students on the spectrum. Because a lot of times what happens is individuals on your campus, your SLP, your OT, your PT, your behavior specialist come in and ask things for you, and you're like, why am I doing this? And so this course is really going to help you begin to understand how all of those pieces fit together so that we can develop that plan for our students. Next, please. Oh, I lost it. There you go. 6, I think, right? Thank you. Next one. One more. Thank you. Understand the use of reinforcement, shaping, behavioral momentum, chaining, modeling, prompting, fading, imitation, discrimination. All of those interventions where the behavior specialist may say, I want you to do this, this, and this. What are you actually doing? Are you shaping behavior? Is this a forward chain? Is this a backward chain? Because a lot of times people say, what does that even mean? So understanding these terms as we see them as they relate to the interventions, this course will really help you begin to have a better understanding of that. Identifying reinforcements, including parent input, developing token economies that incorporate different schedules of reinforcement. And a lot of times we use individual reinforcement, but you, depending on the nature of your classroom, you may want a token economy that's whole group. But you may also want a token economy that's individual. So this will help us to gain a better understanding of what those individual students need. And then plan instruction for social skills and social skills intervention. Identify evidence-based strategies to increase self-awareness and self-regulatory and self-monitoring systems. So those of you that are teaching pre-K, that this self-monitoring is probably too early. But those of you that are teaching middle school and high school age students, these children need to learn to self-monitor. They need to come up with a way to check themselves in terms of behavior. So this will definitely be a tool that you will find very useful with some of your older students, particularly those students in middle and high school. And then methods used to decrease behavior, including overcorrection, timeout, response cost, and extinction. And we're going to talk a little bit about timeout. There's an opportunity for us to discuss that opportunity for students to take a break. Also in objective number 12, you're going to be looking at the importance of choosing ethical interventions, least restrictive, non-aversive. What do those interventions look like? Proactive and preventive methods, visual strategies and some visual supports, and then identify, define, and prioritize those targeted behaviors. Far too frequently what I hear is, oh, he does this all the time. Well, what does that mean, all the time? It's very difficult for any individual to sustain a particular behavior all the time. So what we need is we need data. We need to know how frequently it's occurring, if there is an antecedent, what's happening that's triggering that behavior, and what the function of the behavior is. And I have some strategies and things that I can share with you. I don't know if you all are familiar with the motivation assessment scale. Anybody heard of the motivation assessment scale, also called MASS? If you're not, you can actually go into Google and type in motivation assessment scale. It's a 16-question rating scale. And what it does is it asks you to target a specific behavior. So for example, acts of aggression. And then you answer those 16 questions based on that particular targeted behavior, and it will help you determine whether or not it's sensory, tangible, whether or not it's attention seeking, or it's escape or avoid. So it will help you to target the function of the behavior so that your interventions and your strategies will be more appropriate when addressing the targeted behavior. So it's called the motivation assessment scale. It's a wonderful, wonderful, simple tool. Okay, so these last few demonstrate the ability to use and collect data in a variety of assessment tools, including an ABC chart. So you'll become familiar. If you're not familiar with an ABC chart, that will definitely help. Hypothesis for the function of the behavior, intervention strategies, understanding the importance of data collection through phases of intervention, including gathering baseline data, treatment data, and can this child generalize and then maintain the new behavior. And then at the end, you're going to have that FBA and that PBIP. Okay, questions? Anybody have questions or comments so far? Okay, so just looking at the syllabus very quickly. This just is going to, I sent all of this out to you. So if you don't have this, let me know. But this has my contact information on it. Please, please, please. Yes, Linda, I will do that. If you have questions, concerns, anything, you want to share, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to make myself available to you to make sure that you are successful in this course. You're going to have about 12 weeks or so to get through it. There will be a virtual meeting about the halfway point, and then we'll have a virtual meeting at the end as well to just kind of wrap everything up. I think all of you have taken the course before. There may be one or two of you that this is your first course, but it's set up essentially the same way. You're going to log in, you're going to have your discussion questions, you're going to have your assignment, and then you're going to have the quiz. And you have to pass the quiz with 100% in order to move on. And then this is kind of our timeline. The course is open, so those of you who have not logged in, I would encourage you to go ahead and log in and get started. Some of you have already logged in and have already posted the first assignment and a discussion. So those of you who have done that, thanks. Don't forget to respond to a friend. And then it's broken down in your discussions and your assignments as you move through the course. Any questions, comments about that? Okay, so I want to just walk through the Moodle for just a second, and Corey's going to take us there.
Sorry, it'll just take a second, everybody. Can you all see that?
Okay, so same as before, you're going to see the sections on the left-hand side of your screen. And when you click on each section, you are going to see your assignment, your quiz, your discussion question, and then your ability to answer all of those is linked within each of the sections. One of the things that I want to point out, Corey, will you just scroll down just a smidge for me on the overview? A little more. Perfect. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, so there's your objectives. I'm looking for the Padlet. Is it in the overview or in general?
You have to go to the resources over to the right.
No.
Shannon, I have it in a different view. Do you want to look at it now?
Yeah, please. No, I want to know where it's normally right on the front page there where you can click on it. You know what I mean? Like it's normally linked under the course objectives.
I did wonder about that. I was going to ask you about that, but I thought that was a choice that you made.
No, it's like I can still see it on mine. That's odd.
I was looking at it earlier, and the only place I could find it was through resources.
Then we need to fix that for you guys. Because
I'll make a note of that.
Because normally, like right under where it says overview of course, it's listed there with the course objectives, and you can click right on the Padlet.
If you go to the overview tab on the left-hand side and scroll down to the bottom,
Perfect.
you have the objectives, the Padlet, the discussion rubric, and the assignment rubric linked there. I knew I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, go back up, Corey, up to the top where it says overview. See under general? Yep, click right there. And then scroll down. There it is. Perfect. So when you go to overview, you'll be able to, because a lot of times what happens is people go, I don't know where the Padlet is. And so overview and then scroll down and then your link to the Padlet's going to be right there. I do have these courses with the sections have an open date and a close date. So it's going to keep you from moving ahead. Like you can't just sit down in a weekend and knock all of these out. So I do want you to pace yourself because I want you to really delve into this class in particular because this is a huge component in terms of the behavioral piece for our students on the autism spectrum. So I'm not going to let you just kind of blow through the course. I'm going to force you to pace yourself a little bit. And I know a lot of you have a lot going on. It's a really weird time to be in a classroom or on a computer or whatever it is we're doing right now. So I want you to definitely take your time when you're working through this course. All right, let's take a quick look at the Padlet just to make sure you guys are all familiar with that as well. It is an amazing resource. And Corey and I spoke briefly before we started this session. We have asked Fiddler's admin if they would make this available to you after the courses are finished. We haven't gotten an answer yet, but we will ask again. What I would encourage you to do if you find something on the Padlet that you find especially useful, find a way to save it, print it, keep it, whatever. You're going to see that on the Padlet under each of the sections, there's resources for that particular section. So make sure as you're moving through that section, if there's reading for you to do or if there are videos to watch, this is where you're coming. There's just a tremendous amount of information located in the Padlet. So I would encourage you to definitely delve in, take a look, and see what you can see, because you can see some of these you can scroll down. For example, in section 2, the ABA handouts, you can scroll all down and look and see what else is there. Same thing under challenging behavior and autism. There's lots of information, lots and lots of information for you to access. Any questions about Padlet? Okay. Any questions about the Moodle in general? You guys all feel pretty comfortable doing that? Okay. So then back to PowerPoint, please. What I'll do is I'll go into the Moodle and I will share a link for the motivation assessment scale for all of you guys. So you'll have an opportunity to download that if you want to and use it. It's a great little tool for helping us determine what the motivation, what the function is of a particular behavior. Are any of you certified RBTs or ABAs? Yes? No?
I know Linda is.
Linda, you are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you a behavior specialist?
No, I'm behavior tech.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, are you an RBT?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Did you go through FIT to get your RBT?
No, actually, I didn't. I went through an online course that I paid money for. And
I did too.
and then got my RBT, but I'm going into teaching now.
Okay, just for those of you who are out there who might be interested in becoming a registered behavior tech, even if it's just for the basic knowledge of the foundation of ABA, I do know that FIT does offer it, and I think it's somewhere between $100 and $150 for the session. And go ahead, Linda.
For those of you that are interested in not paying for the course, Autism Partnership is offering a free RBT course.
Even better. Would you share that in, like send everybody or send me that information and then I can share it with everyone.
Yes, I can
And
do that.
anyone who's interested in
email.
doing that, that's, even if you decide you don't want to become an RBT,
Just the information
just the information is so, so valuable. And I will tell you that frequently places like the Florida Autism Center will hire RBTs. So if you're looking for another way to add a feather to your cap, or you need some extra income over the summer, something like that, there are a lot of opportunities for you to use those behavioral skills and strategies that the RBT certification would give you. So go ahead, Corey. Do you have something? Okay, so back to the PowerPoint.
Where do you want to be on the PowerPoint?
Let's see. That's a good question. I want to be after the Padlet, I think. Linda, what are you going to be teaching?
ASD in high school,
Okay,
modified curriculum.
got it. So then your RBT skills will come in handy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's why I chose to stay in it. I'm going for my master's degree, or master's degree in ESE, Exceptional Student Education, with an emphasis on ABA.
Nice. Excellent.
Is that a good slide for you, Shannon?
I'm still looking at the Padlet.
Do you mean you cannot see the PowerPoint?
No,
Nobody can see the PowerPoint?
I can't. Can anybody else see the PowerPoint, or are you still looking at the Padlet?
Still looking at the Padlet. You
Thank
might have
you.
to unshare and then reshare your screen to update it.
Ms. Gibson, what is your email address?
It's my first name, SHANON, GIBSON, 62 at Gmail.
Okay.
Perfect. So I set this up so discussions is spelled wrong. No, no, it's right. Okay, discussions and assignments are due on Sunday. So you have until, I think it's 11:59 p.m. on Sunday to get things turned into me. So that gives you a little more time. If something comes up, like life in general happens, just feel free to reach out to me and let me know. What I would suggest to you is that you go in and open each discussion and each assignment and take a look at it. Time management is going to be key, because some of these things are going to be super simple for you to do and very quick because you're already doing it. And some of them are going to take you a little bit more time. So just take the time to go in on Sunday and click on the assignment and see what's coming up next when it opens, so that you'll have that week to prepare. And you'll need to receive 100% on each of the quizzes in order to move on. So this is the third course. I'm trying to think. We did, here's the deal. I want you to take the time to do the work. So when you're answering questions or you're responding to someone, I want you to make a thoughtful response. So I also, when you're completing an assignment, some of the assignments I get, I'm blown away with the amount of conscious effort that's put in, and others I think we didn't delve in enough. This is not deep enough. So I want you don't, certainly I'm not expecting bells, whistles, and a ticker tape parade when you're completing an assignment, but I do want you to take the time to delve in deep and give me some good quality response, some meat, if you would, with the potatoes. I think that these courses are important and valuable, and you're going to be getting an endorsement from the state based on your completion of these courses. And so with that being said, because your the grade that I can give you is either complete or incomplete, and it's not based on a letter grade, I want it to be a complete response so that I can give you a yes, you completed the assignment. So understand that if the work does not meet the expectation, I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to send it back to you, and I'm going to ask you to revise it and then resubmit it. Make sense? Okay. If you're struggling with it in any way, I do want you to feel free to reach out to me. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I got to have this done by Sunday, and it's, you know, Sunday morning and I've got to get it done quickly. I would much rather give you an extra day or two to complete the assignment and be a better quality response to the question or to the assignment than to have you rush through it. Okay, so there's my contact information. If you need me, you can text me and just let me know who you are, and I will respond to you. You are certainly welcome to call me or email me. I will respond to you. I'm pretty good about stuff like that, so don't hesitate to do that. And then on the next page is Corey's information. So if you need any technical assistance or technical support with the course, don't hesitate to reach out to Corey. She's wonderful at her job and extremely helpful, and can definitely point you in the right direction. And that's really all I have to say with regard to the class. I would love for all of you to get logged on and get started as soon as possible. Do any of you have any additional questions for me? One other thing I want to say, we have a virtual meeting scheduled towards the middle of the course. It is, it's kind of like a midterm kind of catch up. But what I'd really like to do is offer to prepare some sort of, you know, like a virtual course for you all. So if there's a particular topic that you are interested in, whether that is functions of behavior or whether that is collecting data, anything that you, as you start to move through the course, you're like, gosh, I wish I had more information about this. Please send that to me so that I can start to put something together that I think will be meaningful for you all, to give you just a little bit more information about some of the strategies and interventions that we could be using, anything like that that you think might be helpful. I would like to put together like maybe a 45-minute course on a particular topic. So if there's something that comes up for you, just send it my way and I can put something together for us. Anything else? I'm going to send a link for the motivation assessment scale, and then I'm going to get some more information about the RBT course for those of you that are interested. And I can also set up some information for you about the infant toddler developmental specialist certification if any of you might be interested in that as well. That's been a really wonderful, very positive experience for me, just being able to go in and start to work with families at the front end. I mean, I'm thinking about Linda at the other end, and, you know, working with high school students, and that's challenging, but working with those babies birth to age 3 is so impactful for Linda's job.
So, I've been working on the elementary level for 7 years now, so.
Yeah,
yes.
And you can see how valuable it would be to be able to get in there with those babies before they even are eligible to start school. Yeah, so tremendously important. So that ITDS certification might be something that you all would be interested in. So I'll share that with you as well. All right, anything else?
No.
No.
I sent you an email. Hopefully you and Miss Tate both got it.
Okay, yes, I did. I got it.
Good.
Perfect. I'll share it with everyone.
Okay.
All right, thanks everybody. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you,
Hope this
Shannon.
first half of the school year goes great for you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Corey, for all your help. Went great.
Thank you, everybody. It's nice to see you, Shannon.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much for your help.
You bet. Take care.
You too. Bye.